Hi class, in this video I'm going to go over your topic 4 assignment called Instructional Models, Strategies, Analysis. For this assignment, you're going to want to make sure that you do a good job of reading the course study materials this week, Instruction, a Models Approach, from our textbook. When you look at our textbook readings this week, they talk exactly about the direct instruction model, the concept attainment model, concept development model. And so you're assigned to read several of these chapters all about these instructional models. This will help you as you are writing your assignment this week. So in part 1 of the assignment, you're going to describe the defining characteristics of each of these instructional models or strategies. This should be coming straight out of your textbook, and you'll put it right into the template for this assignment. So you're going to give a description of what it means, what each model means here. Support that with references from your book. Then you're going to include an example of how you would use this model or strategy in teaching to meet needs of diverse students. So you're going to give an example now. You're going to explain one example of how direct instruction can meet the needs of diverse students. You might say, for example, in math, and give a specific example. For the next part, you need to explain how the model or strategy supports diverse students. So the second bullet is an example of it. The third bullet is how it does support those needs of diverse students. After the analysis, now you're going to have to apply this idea of instructional models. So first you'll see that there is a class profile attached with the assignment here. You're going to want to look at this class profile and identify what students are in your class. Let's take a look. So here on the class profile, you'll be looking at a lot of different things. So some of the things you'll notice is ELL proficiency level. This means what level are they still learning English? So yes, they're in ELL and they're at a level 4, level 5, or no, they're not an ELL. So you'd want to go through your class profile and see how many ELL students are there and how many of each level there are. As I'm scrolling through, I see mostly level 4s and 5s. Here's a 2 and a 3, but most of my class is 4s and 5s. The higher the number in your proficiency level, the more proficient their English is. Often when the students are a 4 or 5, they're close to being fluent in that language, in the English language. Next, you'll look at socioeconomic status. Sometimes this is important when planning for students because when your examples are at a high level of socioeconomic status, you might not be able to connect with your students. For example, if you talk about going to Disneyland to students who have a low socioeconomic status, it's likely most of them haven't had the Disneyland experience. So you'd want to have a connection, something more that every student does, like going to the grocery store. You can look at their race, ethnicity, native language. Right here under IEP in 504, that indicates which students are special education students. So as I'm looking through and I'm scrolling, I'm seeing the first page has no, and then I have one student here, and their specific need is in hearing aids. So this is somebody not with a learning disability, but a hearing impairment. As I go down, I see I have a student who has ADHD, so they're probably going to have some attention troubles. I've got 2 learning disabled students, so that means that the instruction is going to be a struggle for them, that you're going to need to make sure it's visual and a little more step-by-step and not too at a rapid pace. Here I can see another one. So you're going to want to look at the class as a whole and make note there are 3 learning disabled students, 1 with ADHD and 1 student that has a visual disability. Once I do that, now I'm ready to start start my work for part 2. You're going to select 3 of the instructional models from part 1. So on your assignment, you're going to pick 3 of these models to apply with this example class that you have. Now that you've chosen your 3 models, you're going to use your work from last week. Review that academic standard and that learning objective that you created on topic 2. You're going to copy and paste that over here into your template. You'll put that grade level, that academic standard, and your learning objective. Now, I know you had 3 learning objectives, a know, do, and understand learning objectives. You can choose one of those or place all 3 of them here. Then you're going to choose the model or strategy. Make sure to tell me which one right here, direct instruction. Then you're going to go into thinking about your class profile and explain how would direct instruction or whatever model or strategy you chose help you teach this standard and objective. Then you're going to give a rationale why you chose this instructional model and why you think it's effective. So maybe I chose direct instruction. Now I'm going to explain direct instruction will help my learning disabled students or my English language learners in this objective or with this objective because, and be specific to the objective you're teaching. If you're teaching about reading comprehension, explain how it helps reading comprehension. If you're teaching about fractions, explain how it helps teach fractions. With your rationale, you want to make sure that that's the rationale you want to explain why it's effective. And then on the explanation, you're telling what would you do. So I would directly model fractions. I would put up fraction models in front of the students. So give me an exact explanation of what you do and why it helps. Make sure that you support all of your work with 2 to 3 scholarly resources. Your textbook is going to be a great resource here. I think this meant to say APA format is not required, but I'm not sure what they mean by GCU format is not required. But just make sure that you're using solid academic writing. Let me know if you have any questions as you try to complete this assignment.